In the proud spirit of America and in the proud spirit of our great country,
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
What's going on, everybody? Happy 4th of July. Excited to have you guys with us right here on the Betting News Network. This is your Betspresso in the AM. Happy America Day. Happy 250th birthday to the United States. That's Vsauce. That's Justin Carlucci. That's Luch. My name's Sweatpan Jesus. Excited to have you with us to kick off your 4th of July. Thanks for spending it with us right here on the network. Boys, happy 4th. How we living?
Living good. Chat, can we take a second and appreciate Luch coming dressed for the occasion? I absolutely love to fucking see it. The homie's locked in. Luch, how you doing?
Good. Got to bring all the positive vibes here. Massive betting slate every holiday. You know how it is. And early baseball, Pirates Nationals kicking off in about 60 seconds. So a lot of stuff to unpack here today.
Let's go, man. Luch wrote about the Pirates game. If you want to go get involved with some, you want to throw that out there real quick? Because I know that game does start here like in a minute. What do you like? And if anyone wants to just lock that in before we get started.
Yeah, love the Pirates team total over 5.5 runs. The Nationals did throw a bit of a curveball here. They're going to roll with an opener against Zach Little. And every fifth day, this guy keeps getting the ball. I have no idea why. He is not a major league pitcher this season. Lefties have been smoking him. He's given up 22 home runs this year, 16 of them against lefties. So the opener is a lefty, which kind of sucks because I really like Brandon Lowe to go deep. So he'll probably get the first at bat against a lefty, which blows. But other than that, it's going to be literally 100 degrees in DC today. So you're going to get a bulk game out of a guy who is a bottom 1% pitcher this year. Love the Pirates. They've been so good in June as well. So let's go Buccos.
It is.
You can get that live right now before the game really starts.
Yeah, that gets going here like now. So if you want to lock that in, get after it. We'll talk about the rest of the baseball slate on the 4th of July. We got some plays.
Pirates team total, Sean Beasy. Pirates team total, and then Brandon Lowe to maybe go yard.
Yeah, and the Nationals bullpen is atrocious. I think they have an MLB worst ERA, giving up a ton of bombs. It's bad. So really the worst part is the opener because he's decent this season and he's a lefty. So you'll get a bad bulk pitcher and a bad, tail end of the bullpen in there in 100-degree weather. If they don't score 6 runs, then just tip your cap and move on today, I think.
Yeah, sometimes you just tip your cap.
Yep.
In honor of it being America's birthday today, V woke up feeling dangerous, and we're going to cook up a home run parlay to celebrate America today. We've already got a couple in the chamber. We will have it ready to go for you guys by the end of the show. But we're going to talk about a lot today. Obviously, big baseball slate, couple WNBA games, 2 massive World Cup games as the round of 16 begins today as Canada takes on Morocco and Paraguay takes on France. We're not going to really give you our analysis, but we're going to tell you what Shaggy Betts likes. You can go check out his scribbles at bettingnews.com on the World Cup today. And then we're going to cook a parlay in honor of America's birthday. Chat, right now, telling you, this is my dad moment to all of you motherfuckers out there. 10 fingers, 10 toes, all the phalanges tomorrow. 10 digits. We want all of them. Make sure you don't blow yourself up today.
Screen, but nobody wants to see that. 10 fingies and 10 toes.
10 fingies, 10 toes. Back it up, Terry. Terry, back it up. Oh, no, Terry. Make sure you don't blow yourself up today. Be safe.
Make sure you guys get on the grill. Get on the grill today.
Get on the grill. Get some glizzies going. We'll talk about the hot dog eating contest, too, which is getting rocking and rolling here. The women are just getting started, and then the men will be after that. Jackson has a little bit of some narrative that he wants to talk about with the glizzies today. Yeah.
Call the Uber. Get the ride. Take the bus. Do whatever you need to do.
Whatever you need to do. Make sure you don't get behind the wheel today. I mean, knock down 7,000 million beverages. Do that responsibly. But make sure you obviously don't drive out there.
And cheer for Team Canada on July 4th. That makes sense. But yes. Yes.
Don't do that.
So many thumbs down in the studio right now, chat. Just so you know.
He's having a rough week, guys. Give him a break.
I'm having a really rough week, man.
He is.
Thank you, Luch.
Yeah,
I feel for you, man.
Luch is here for the people, Yeah, let's talk about this. We're going to talk some news, what we saw last night, obviously, and then. But let's start it off. Since Luch, you haven't been with us since the massive trade in the NBA, and as our resident Sixers fan, which we have a resident Sixers fan now, which is dope.
Lucky you guys.
I want that thoughts, and then I want some thoughts on your Titans thing, but I'll ask you that after this. How you feeling? Jaylen Brown, member of the 76ers, and
tweets deleted.
I'm still just shocked. This would have never happened 20 years ago. Straight up biggest division in any sport, but that is like that. Those unwritten rules have gone out the window in front office and GMs alike. And first of all, I think there's a perfect combination between analytics and the eye test and things that aren't analytical. I mean, I'm a big analytical guy, especially in baseball. I love the advanced metrics and looking for regression and whatnot. There's a couple of things that stick out to me, and I think, it really hurts now. My perspective for Boston is I think it's cheap, and I think they could have ran it back with a piece or two, and I wouldn't have blinked an eye twice if they would have won the NBA Finals this coming season. I mean, really, look how good they were defensively, and you can say whatever you want about Jaylen Brown, and Paul George might help that if he's available. I think that's a big thing. I think a lot of people are just omitting the massive age gap. Not massive, but in NBA terms, in the NBA world, like, let's just disregard that Jaylen Brown is only 29 and Paul George is 36. And I think the two things that the Sixers needed in a star or a superstar, and I don't have to convince V that Jaylen Brown's a superstar. I just think the argument is really stupid that he's not. And I think the other part of it in the world of basketball is people love to shit on the Sixers. So they're going to find any way to, misconstrue things and, make it a bad look for Philly. But, hats off to Gansey coming in 2 weeks on the job, 4 weeks on the job, and just making like a possible franchise altering move. The other argument is, where are their picks? Where's their money? I'm sorry, I don't see that one either from the Sixers angle, because when you have a nucleus of Maxey and Edgecombe, I don't know if there's more of a combination of youth and superstar ceiling right now in the NBA than those two guys. And you add in an early 30s Jaylen Brown possibly, and LeBaron Filan, who is the wild card here. We know his ceiling. He was a monster, another big usage guy. I don't have a problem with running that nucleus and having a bunch of vet minimums around them, for the foreseeable future. What reason will you possibly need to continue to add big pieces around that core if they're going to be healthy and continue to produce? So I have no problem with that. I am still shocked with the lack of return, as most people are. For the Blazers to allegedly come out and say they view them as a negative player and then make a trade for Ja is complete fuckery. That is what
tomfoolery.
Yeah, just buffoonery, tomfoolery, you name it. Like
fuckery, all of the things.
The biggest hype.
Ja was free. Like Ja was free. They basically you got off Jeremy Grant's nasty ass contract, and you added somebody that might put a few more seats in the stadium, even if it's just two little kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sorry, Luch, keep going.
No, I'm just talking way too much here. But I think just, I guess a couple of points I wanted to make was lastly, like, the Sixers needed a closer. At times, Maxey was super erratic still in the fourth quarter. And sometimes he plays the game a little bit too fast. And, he's deadly in transition. He can sure as hell score. But, man, when it comes down to just, ISO ball, which is what it is in crunch time nowadays, and, Embiid another year moving forward here. We don't know what his availability is going to be. Brown is one of the best closers in basketball. And that's probably why I hated, every Sixers Celtics series, because you knew he was probably going to kill them when it mattered. So I think it, addressed a huge void. And I think it's really intriguing now that he has such a chip on his shoulder, or so he says. And, you're going to one of the franchises where, it's pretty much everything to prove, and just such a starving fan base for some success. So I don't know how it's going to work out because there's only one basketball to share, and they added Anthony Simons and your boy Caleb Love. So there's a lot of guys who are just straight up buckets now on that team, and it's going to be fascinating to see. But I think availability is key, and that's the other thing. And there are some people straight up just comparing Paul George and Jaylen Brown as a talent. And Paul George was fantastic when he was available last year. And he's either been hurt or suspended the last couple of seasons now. And he was going on 37. So I mean, there's an outcome where Paul George plays 82 entire games the rest of his career. I mean, really, it's not like a super realistic one, but would you be shocked if he missed 40 games this season for a reason or another? I wouldn't either. So I just think when you combine age, availability, and the return, which was really, underwhelming for Boston in the short term, but still there's some good assets for the future if they have a plan and a little bit of wiggle room, although they spent $1 bajillion on a couple of centers in the last week or so, which was bold. I think long-term, both teams, can be a winner here long-term, but right now it sucks for Boston. I think they're a loser in the short term. Trying to be polite here, V, but I think it is what it is. And TBD for the Sixers, but at least it's a big move for a franchise that's been starving for some success.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. SPJ?
V and I kind of talked about this yesterday in the last few days, so I just wanted your 2 cents, which you nailed it pretty much from the Sixers perspective. The only thing that I am going to continue to talk about in this angle, and we'll add in the layer that chat just asked as well, but I'm a little bit concerned about what this looks like for VJ Edgecombe's trajectory and ceiling now, because you're stifling his development, I think, by bringing in a guy like Brown. But maybe he just continues to fit in nicely. Like you said, you don't know the availability of Embiid in this lineup, so he's going to probably be in and out, which obviously that means that the ball will have to go around to Brown, Maxey, and Edgecombe. But we'll see how that goes. My question to you guys, and we didn't really get a chance to dive into this yesterday, and we were going to bring this up today. So obviously you've got the elephant in the room for all franchises right now, which apparently is 27 of them, according to Rich Paul, that LeBron James is going to be going somewhere else besides Los Angeles. And I know you posted this on the timeline, Luch, and maybe you got some thoughts on this too, Sauce Man, of does it make any sense for Bron to go to Philadelphia? I mean, does he want to go and be a fourth option or third option technically on a team? He could technically be a de facto point guard, and then Maxey could play the 2. Brown could play the 3 edge, or I guess Brown could play the 4. I mean, positions don't matter in the NBA anymore. But what is your thought on possibly LeBron joining this team? And apparently the odds-on favorite for the Sixers to land the king in his last possible season in the NBA.
It's a tough one. I just knowing my recency bias and long-term bias the last 3 decades, it doesn't feel like it would ever happen. LeBron going to Philly, it just doesn't feel right. But at this point of his career, I mean, he has always been very self-aware, at least on the court. I mean, I think he would be an elite quarterback of the offense and be able to step up in crunch time when he needs to be. So I think there is a case to be, made that this actually would be a good fit if that's a role he's willing to take on. And, I mean, we saw in the Olympics, he let Curry do his thing, and rightfully so. The guy was having an anomaly stretch even for Steph Curry. But, I think he's okay doing that. The thing I've been thinking about is, all of the shit he's taken over the course of his career because we put him on such a pedestal as one of the 2 or 3 best players to ever play the game. And people love to compare him to Jordan, especially those our age and older, which is fair. And because we grew up with MJ, is man, what? And I'm beating a dead horse here, but a fan base that's starving for a championship. What would that do for LeBron James's legacy if he was able to be a big part of bringing a championship to Philadelphia? There would probably be no other athlete that would be worshipped more than LeBron James making that decision and in the city and bringing home a ring, which is crazy to say. But boy, would that flip in a hurry if he was able to bring Philly some success. So I wonder if that's in his mind. I mean, of course, he's been hearing this for 20 years, but where else could he go? I mean, there's Minnesota rumblings. Mm-hmm. I can't really see that either, but I think he's better off, to get a ring in the Eastern Conference. I mean, a clearer path, he used to have some talent. Don't get me wrong, but let's be real here.
For me, I think with LeBron, it's a legacy thing. Do you want to be the fourth guy on a championship caliber team, or do you want to be one of the main guys? Like a team like Golden State provides him that opportunity where he goes there and he's immediately the second best player on the team. Even a team like the Cavaliers, you could make that argument outside of Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley still developing, that LeBron would have a big role on that team. Even a team like the Celtics, now with having JB being traded, he would be the second best player on that team if you're going to look at it from a perspective of that. I do think that there are some teams where he could play a big role. We saw what Rich Paul had on the whiteboard up there too, and a lot of different teams had different things. Like for the Celtics, it was Brad and Tatum, right? For other teams, it was Oil, like in Dallas and things like that is what they're discussing. So there's obviously a ton of stuff on the table. I also do think that Rich Paul was purposefully like broad in his analysis so as not to whittle it down to the two teams that he's probably looking at, maybe three. I really feel like it's got to be Miami or Cleveland. Golden State a close third just because of the history there, the fact that Steph is there, and the fact that they could all get together as like a group of people on that side of their career looking to make one more run here at a championship. So like that kind of makes sense. But the Philly, like I just don't know if he's willing to put another team in his closet if it's not close to home like Golden State is.
I think the point of legacy and like what he would bring to a city is probably highest on the list for Bron at this particular point. None of us talked to Bron personally, unfortunately, so we don't know that. But just based on what we've seen and what we've heard, like he doesn't care about the moolah anymore. He's basically a billionaire, so that makes sense. He's basically wanting to go win another chip before he hangs it up. And based on if you believe what Windhorst says, and I mean, he's kind of the only mainstream journalist in the NBA that I truly listen to in these situations. As he said, and someone was kind of trying to shit on LeBron by saying he's moved around a bunch, but Wendy said, well, he's moved around a bunch, but every single team he's gone to, he's won a championship. He brought the ring to those particular cities, every single one of them, and has had Hall of Fame careers at each stop. So, yeah, it might be that he is the fourth fiddle at this point for Philadelphia, but as you said, Luch, maybe bringing another championship to a city that is starved for one is high on his bucket list on what he wants to do. I do think that he wants to stay in the East. I think that the Warriors thing kind of died to me when they decided to sign Porzingis. And even though Draymond taking the cut to his contract kind of made people thinking, but then DeAndre Ayton got signed by the Washington Wizards, which to me throws a big wrench in the Anthony Davis situation, because in my opinion, I don't think AD, Sarr, and Ayton are on this roster to start the season. Like that mixture of those three guys on the same team doesn't make a bunch of sense to me. Like Alexander Sarr is a center. Like he's not really a stretch five, I don't think, with playing with AD and Ayton. Like that makes no sense. So I think
Angel Reese's brother, who is an absolute monster on the fucking glass. If you watched the few games where he played significant minutes last year, like he had I think a 17 and a 20 rebound game in that span. So there's definite guys that are just absolute dogs out there. And AD's up for extension. So I wouldn't be surprised, SPJ.
I'm really glad you brought that up. There's no reason for the Wizards to bring in DeAndre Ayton. So that was a huge red flag in this whole, or whatever you want to call it, wild card. That implied to me immediately that AD is going to be shipped out somewhere, whether he's going to be teaming up with LeBron or whether Golden State, wants to go after AD, regardless of if they land LeBron, would still be interesting. Of course, they have their own window with Steph to worry about. So if they don't land LeBron, they have to look out for themselves at some point and can't let this thing drag on. I did have two other questions / points for you guys. First of all, how much does the clutch sports thing really matter with Rich Paul, Maxey, and LeBron? I just feel like that's getting blown out of proportion a little bit here. Like plenty of Sixers fans are thinking, well, they're clutch sports and there's an asterisk next to Maxey on the whiteboard. Yeah, Rich Paul wants to pump his guys up a little bit, of course. He knows what he's doing. I don't think it matters. Do you guys think that connection means anything?
I think it matters in some aspects. I don't think it matters when, like, literally the reason clutch sports exists, aka LeBron James, is making a decision. You know what I mean? Like, clutch sports doesn't exist without LeBron James. And I do think that being said, if anything, it would be about maybe having Maxey try to come play in LA at some point earlier in LeBron's career. At this point, LeBron's not going to play with another clutch sport athlete. He's going to play wherever he wants to play,
Sorry, go ahead. Before I forget, my last point would be, the hypothetical stunting of VJ Edgecombe's growth is a perfectly solid angle. The rebuttal would be, how much could he learn from a season with LeBron? I mean, the same conversation was to be had when James Harden landed in with Tyrese Maxey. And I mean, there's no doubt that James Harden has influenced Maxey's game, and that bag Maxey has grew exponentially. I mean, it's uncanny with the step back he had now. And of course, he puts in a ton of work in the gym and, works with Drew Hanlon and everybody as well. But I think it could work both ways. And also, Edgecombe took on way more, I think, than anyone in the Sixers organization wanted him to take on head on last year. And he took everything on with open arms. The role was massive. With just the absences of both George and Embiid. I don't think anybody in that organization wanted to throw him in the fire that quickly. So I don't think necessarily it would be an awful thing if he took just a slight backseat and could be efficient, as a fourth option on some nights. And, he'll have an awesome matchup every night he touches the floor. It's kind of like pick your poison if that's the case, if LeBron does land there. But yeah, as much as a Sixers fan as I would like to see it, it just doesn't feel right. And just the final stamp here is there's a lot of just bullshit reporting online, obviously, but there was one offshore book that had the Sixers at -200 yesterday. And of course it got blown out of proportion. They were like 3-1 everywhere else. -200 was a straight up bizarre line. It was not a mistake because it was hanging there for like 24 full hours. That finally moved to even money, I believe now. So on that one book where oddly the Sixers were heavy favorites for a day. Just bizarre, just really weird in that point.
The VJ thing is interesting because Nick Nurse talked about it a lot last year in multiple stretches of interviews where he thought that VJ was one of the most, I can't remember the exact quote, but he basically said like he's one of the smartest rookies like he's ever, like he's playing way over his skates, like he's playing like a veteran, like he gave him a lot of praise. And Nick Nurse is not the type of dude that throws those types of words around very often. So that was something that was, like you said, and it could be really beneficial because if you think about a current NBA player, I mean, we called him BNN Wade last year, or so called him that because of how much Dwayne Wade-esque play he did have. But if you want to think of a current NBA player that you would kind of compare VJ to, I mean, Jaylen Brown's a perfect comp, I think, size-wise, the way that they shoot the basketball, how good they are on defense, both of them, and like the ability. And I think that his VJ's ceiling as a superstar-esque player would be a Jaylen Brown type of career. So maybe he will get the opportunity to learn from Brown, not only what he does on the court and his skills, but obviously how he prepares. And those are the types of things that maybe doesn't stunt his growth. Maybe it helps further develop him as a player, as you mentioned. So lots of things that are going to kind of come around as this kind of continues to shake out. We've got a lot to break down, obviously, as the continued offseason continues with the NBA. But we got to turn the page, boys, because we got a lot to talk about for today. We could probably spend the rest of the show talking about us hoop heads up here, talking about the NBA and having some fun with you guys on where people might go. But we've got a bunch of baseball. We've got a bunch of soccer. We've got some news from yesterday. Jackson, flip us over and let's talk some news real quick, and then we'll jump to the World Cup games that we have today. We said goodbye to one of the best situations of the entire World Cup, one of the best storylines, and boy, oh boy, did they say goodbye in dramatic fashion. Shout out to Cape Verde for what they were able to do yesterday. It took Argentina, the best team in the country, or the best team in the world by FIFA rankings, taking down all the way almost to penalties. Argentina scored with like 3 minutes left in extra time to win the game over Cape Verde 3-2 yesterday. The guy who scored the second goal for Cape Verde, he'll never forget that moment in his entire life. Like, that was an absolute banger of a goal. Thought it was going to be enough to send him at least to penalties. As a casual fan of neither one of these teams, I wanted that game. I think everybody and their mother, even some Argentina fans at the back of their head, were like, this could go to pens and have some fun. But what an incredible run by this team, the smallest country to ever qualify for the knockout round. Took down the likes of, not took down, but played the best brand of football that you can against the best teams in the entire competition. And obviously the goalkeeper will be remembered as well by all of his millions and millions of Instagram followers now. So shout out to Cape Verde. What an incredible game last night. Anything else from yesterday that stood out to you guys in the World Cup, or just kind of overall in the Friday night vibes?
This game was absolutely stunning. Like you said, that second goal for Cape Verde, my God, I was sitting there and I had to watch the replay because I didn't believe that that's what happened. And it was just an absolutely electric moment. I don't know if you saw, there was a clip going around today too of that same player being asked what he wants to do in the World Cup. And he's like, I really want to score a goal. And to do it in that fashion against that team in that moment. Just absolutely fucking stunning, because I know everybody, as soon as they scored that extra time goal, the first one, the air probably left the stadium. Every single Cape Verde fan that thought maybe, and then all of a sudden they score again. I don't even understand. Just an electric game. Like I say this every time I come up here, I feel like multiple times a week now, that the World Cup has been everything I think everyone wanted and more. The extended field has been so fantastic to watch. What started out as probably greed has now resulted in some of the, honestly, like most magical moments from the World Cup we've seen over the last couple. And I just think that this guy right here, Vozinha, has been at the center of it all. Like, he has been so fucking good. His save on Messi last night too, dude, come on.
Incredible.
Yeah, there's no other event that packs everything that the World Cup does. The togetherness, the freaking raw emotion every match, you know, the magnitude of everything, the high stakes, the time and energy and money all of these teams, players and families have put in, you know, just to making this possible. And we get it for like 6 weeks. So there's nothing like it. It's a travesty. It's every 4 years. It's been unbelievable. And on the flip side, you know, Messi, 39, just keeps creating separation in all of the conversation between him and all of the other, wonderful players around the world that people want to label as the GOAT. Just keeps freaking doing it. I mean, got to give him his flowers, man.
Yeah.
I said this to V yesterday, and I think the GOAT conversation is very much so signed, sealed, and delivered at this point. Like, I don't even think it's a conversation anymore.
He might be the best at his sport ever than anybody it has been, like, at their fucking respective sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I know there's Tom Brady, I know there's LeBron James, but when you tally up, I watched this video the other day where someone tallied up all the hardware that Messi has, the individual hardware, the league trophies, the World Cup, every single thing, the 2 Copa Americas. The dude's resume is stacked, and he's still doing it at 39 years fucking old.
And
he doesn't
he doesn't look like, he looks like the best player on the field pitch when he walks on the field now as well, which, like, you can't really say that for Ronaldo anymore, or really any other players currently. I mean, you'd still stack him up against the best of the best, the youngest guys in the prime of their career, the Mbappes, which we'll talk about in a second, the Haalands, the Yamals, like, these guys, like, it's still Messi. So
it's still Messi.
What an incredible game yesterday. The Colombia game was a little bit more of a snooze fest, but it was still Colombia 1-0 last night as well. Shout out Shaggy Betts as well for tearing down Kansas City last night and going to Arrowhead. I got a text from Shags this morning saying that it was one of the most electric games he's ever been to. Colombians got the job done, moving on to the round of 16. But boys, let's turn the page to today. We're going to kind of preview both of these games real quick before we give you guys some more analysis on the rest of the slate. First game, as V said, the Canadians taking on the Moroccans. This game is at 1 o'clock Eastern this afternoon. You got soccer all day today. Only 2 games, but you got 2 games all throughout the afternoon. So before you go blow your hands up, you can watch some soccer. Keep the fingies and toes. Remember, chat. Fingies and toes. First game, like I mentioned, this would be an interesting one. V, close your ears. Shags dropped his favorite plays for you guys on bettingnews.com. They're actually now, we'll be scrolling at the bottom of the screen in just a second. It's the Moroccans. Morocco money line, a little juiced, unfortunately. So Shags paired it up with the under 3.5 for some plus money there, plus 125 that you can see on the bottom of the screen. A little correct score prediction there as well, 2-0 for Morocco if you'd like to get involved on that angle of things. Any major thoughts on this games, boys? I know neither one of you guys are massive into like capping soccer specifically, probably be tuned in, but anything else besides the V saying rebuttal is it's Canada?
Respectfully, Shaggy, I hope that shit don't hit. I get shit. Sometimes there's bigger things than 1 unit from my boy, all right? There's bigger things at play. I love you, Shags, though. Of course, I do see the Moroccan side. They have been fantastic in this tournament, starting off with that draw against Brazil. I do think, though, that this team has just been really fucking good. Obviously, I would love to see the Canadians, but the Canadians making the round of 16 and making it this far in their first ever tournament, seeing the players, seeing the way they've come together, seeing how much these moments mean, not only to the players, but to the families and all the fans. Some of the biggest soccer fans live in Canada, and obviously it's not as big in North America, but I do think that it's done big things for like just soccer in general in both Canada and the US. And I do think that that's been great to see. Now I will be cheering the loudest and I will be Canada all the way. So sorry, Shags, but I see the vision. I do. Morocco's been really good.
Morocco has been fantastic.
Those PKs against the Netherlands. I mean, is there a more unhealthy 10 minutes in sports than penalty kicks in the World Cup? I mean, it's just like, 3 minutes, game 7 vibes, I guess, is like the closest comparison. But, I am not at the slightest emotionally invested in either one of those teams. And I was just up and down, jumping around, falling down on the couch. I mean, that was some of the craziest shit I've ever seen as a sports fan. And of course, just the immediate emotion from everyone after it. What a roller coaster. PKs in the World Cup. Maybe we'll get some more today, and that would be unbelievable soccer.
That one day we had like 2 back-to-back, and it's just like everybody, like if you're looking at your heart rate monitor that day, there's 2 peaks, and it's 10 minutes both times right at the end of those games.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like I was at Topgolf yesterday for my father-in-law's birthday, and we were watching. We were all sweating out watching the Argentina game. Saw that banger of a goal, and then all I wanted was I just wanted. Could you imagine Vizinha standing up there for PKs? What the cinema, dude? Man, they really Argentina, you fuckers, you robbed us of that.
If they went to PKs, man, I don't know. There's no promises.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It would have been crazy. But. Yep. Maybe we get something today, like you said, maybe in this game, maybe in the second one, or both. Let's find out. Second game on the slate today, Paraguay taking on Mbappe and the French. Another pretty big favorite are France to move on here. Argentina got the job done yesterday, but in a lot more dramatic fashion than a lot of people expected. Maybe Paraguay can surprise some people today. Shags is not invested in either side, but he's doing the typical Shaggy Bets thing and taking the under. Paraguay, France, under 3 at the flat 3 minus 122. Shop around, find the best available price as always. I know he thinks that France will get the job done here and just handle business. Maybe a nice 2-0 victory that you guys can see scrolling at the bottom in a second there for some nice plus money there for France. But at this point, like you guys just said, who the hell knows? I mean, it's one game to go through. Yes, France is the better team. Yes, France might be the best team in this competition, but hell, Cape Verde was the 67th best team in the entire FIFA rankings, and they took Argentina all the way to the end yesterday. So who knows what's going to happen with France today, but they should probably get the job done. You guys got anything on this one?
Paraguay probably wasn't even supposed to be here. So, I mean, it's very hard when you look at this French attack. They're probably one of the best attacks in terms of just depth across the front there. But Mbappe has been fantastic, too, in this tournament. And it really feels like him, Haaland, and Messi are all kind of chasing this golden boot here just a little bit. And in a game like this against Paraguay, I think Mbappe, 2 goals, needs to be, dabbled. Messi almost said yesterday, but Vizinha is Vizinha, right?
Yeah, he's a demon, a 40-year-old demon that now has 2,000 plus ladies in his DMs, probably on Instagram.
Yeah, dude, shout out the beautiful women at the World Cup, though. Can we just give them the flowers while my wife's not home right now? Hey.
She ain't watching the replay.
She ain't watching. She at work right now. She ain't got time. But I'm just saying, it's been a lot of fun to see.
Hopefully there are none at the England-Mexico game tomorrow with all the Viagra that's going to be pumping through the British system. We'll find out.
Did you hear about that, Luch? About the England?
I did. And I said, is there just not one slightly better remedy in the year 2026? I don't know.
No, nothing that wouldn't be considered a PED. That's why. So it's and honestly, this isn't even going to help that much. So I really do think it's gonna be. I don't know if you guys saw him do an interview. The guy from Ted Lasso, Coach. Jason
Sudeikis.
Life. Not Jason.
No, the other guy.
But they're doing an interview. He has a podcast with the girl who does the halftime shows. I can't remember her name, but
Rebecca Lowe.
Rebecca Lowe. So he's on there, and she asks him about them. And he's played. Obviously, he's not just in the show. He used to be an amateur, and he's like, I've played there. I've been to Mexico City. The altitude is for fucking real. Like, Luch, it's 2,000 feet higher than Colorado.
Crazy.
So it's going to be something. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'll be tuned in.
The blue chews will be happening. Yep. Happy birthday. If you're just tapping in with us, happy 4th of July. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us right here on the Betting News Network for your best espresso in the AM. I'm not going to tell you guys what's in this cup, but cheers to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's just coffee.
Cheers.
It's just coffee. It's all good. Yeah. It won't be coffee soon though. And Chad, I hope you guys are having a great start to your 4th of July. For all of our non-Americans out there, happy Saturday. Happy July 4th.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Okay. Let's do. I know Fam has a couple of plays that he was flashing down below for the soccer, and then we do have Fam with us to drop in some Formula One bets, which starts tomorrow. Then we'll talk baseball. We'll talk some dub. And then we'll cook the parlay that we're going to celebrate with you guys. We got 2 parlays today. We got the Bespresso for the 4th of July, and then we've also got a little ding dong parlay, a little 3 guys to go Yabo, maybe even 4. I don't know. We'll get there, but maybe possibly
fireworks for realsies.
Possibly. If you want some analysis on who is going to eat the most hot dogs, I know the ladies. Is that already happening? The women's is already going on right now, right? Thanks, Jackson, shaking his head. Has the men started yet?
Does Joey Chestnut still participate since the whole sponsorship thing happened?
Joey Jaws is going down this year. 17 of the last 19 Nathan's 4th of July hot dog eating contest. Joey Chestnut has won, so he's defending his belt today. It's minus 2,000 to win once again today. He's probably going to get the job done again.
Do you remember when we had a hot dog eating contest on the channel here?
I do.
Yeah, Jackson, I don't know if you anybody was around for that, but Chad, you guys remember that? Was it Shaggy that won? That fucking demon?
I was in Canada visiting the uppers at BN, and so I had to do, and they gave me fucking brioche buns. I was in shambles.
Yeah, that was insane. So this guy was like at the office in Canada, in Montreal too. Like they don't even eat hot dogs in Montreal. And
I was having to get brioche buns. No way that was going down easy. Luch, you look like you can knock back a few dogs.
I could. I actually have a quick story about a local eating competition. Back in my heyday, no, I did not win, and I actually had a pretty pathetic finish. But when I was 21, 22, one of my best friends and I worked in local radio, and we did a weekly sports show from a local dive bar. Great bar, though, like awesome, good food and whatnot. We're like, hey, like let's run a promo. Let's do a hot wing eating contest. Awesome idea in theory. Had a great turnout. We did the show live, and me and my buddy, we competed. Tons of locals were there. You won like gift certificates and swag and things like that. The problem was that we didn't really think this thing through, was that there were only so many deep fryers in the kitchen. They didn't pre-make enough wings. So there was probably almost 24 people competing. They were running low on wings. So they had to keep making wings straight out of the fryer on the clock, just burning hot, people trying to eat these wings. Man. So I gave, after like 8 or 9 of them, like I got to finish the show and we're done. So like I'm tapping out, but it was an experience for sure. We were in like the local newspapers and everything, but we had 10 minutes and one of the guys crushed, man, I think it was like over 30 wings in 10 minutes. Honestly, the guy was like just
scarfing him.
A local specimen. I mean, he came in like, a wife beater tank top. He looked like he came off like a 10-day bender or something. I haven't eaten in 2 weeks. Like as soon as I saw him, like this guy's winning. Like I have no chance anyway. So, but he powered through those scalding hot wings. He had to burn the roof of his mouth. It was like, in theory, it was a great idea. The result wasn't what we wanted, but we made the bar a little bit of money. But so my eating competition days are far and few in between and long behind me.
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
We should next time when we have our meetup for betting news, which we are going to start sprinkling in the fact that our meetup is coming around the corner very soon here in September, which we'll be giving you more and more information about that as we get ready for it soon. We might have to have like a beer chugging competition or something.
Oh, I think that beer chugging competition, I give people run for their money. Like I'm not a one gulp monster like that, but you put it in the pint glass.
That's not what I heard. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, Shaggy's the eater around here. Whoa, pause. That's not easy too, but it just goes into his shoulders. It's not fair.
It does.
You know what I mean?
He knocked back, I think it was like 5 dogs. Yeah. We need to bring that back.
He ate another hot dog for 5 months though. Like
yeah, him and Canes also just goes really well. Shout out Shags.
Shout out Shags.
Okay.
The glizzy gobbler.
The glizzy gobbler. Yeah, I tried. All right, boys. Let's bring Fam up here to get his thoughts on a couple of plays in the World Cup and find out what he likes at Silverstone tomorrow at the British Grand Prix. What's up, Fam? How we doing?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good. Welcome to the show. Give us your couple plays that you liked in the happy 4th, dog. What's your plays? I know you were flashing them on the screen for the 2 World Cup games today, and then tell us what's going to go down on the streets of Silverstone tomorrow.
So for Morocco versus Canada, I like El Kouabi. I don't know how to say his name right. To score, he's kind of the focal point up front there. And then I like Raheem Diaz to score or assist. He's kind of like their pivot man in the midfield. Kind of plays that Declan Rice role, as we know. So he just feeds the forwards. So I like him to score assist. And then in France, it has to be Michael Olise. He wanted to score so bad last game, and he had so many opportunities that just were amazing saves. And then one opportunity, Bradley Barcola making a deep run into the box, easily could have cut it back, and Olise would have had to tap in, but Barcola takes a shot instead, and literally you just saw Olise fall to his knees. Does that make me happy seeing Barcola do that with all the transfer rumors to him going to Arsenal? Not really, but you know, but it has to be Michael Olise today. He has to get one in.
Okay. Well, there's a couple of some props for you guys if you want to get involved with some stuff on the World Cup games this afternoon. Tell us about the Formula One race tomorrow. How did it go last week with Austria, with the Austrian Grand Prix, and what are you looking forward to with what's going to go down in Silverstone tomorrow?
Austria last week, it was a rough one. The underclassified cars bet was super close. They ended up, I think it was just like one off. I needed one more guy to just wreck or mechanical failure or something. Lewis ended up coming in like 4th or 5th. He just kind of had a bad day out there. George Russell took home the win in that race, which was kind of shocking to me, just because he doesn't really he hasn't shown that clutch ability. But I guess all the pressure, he's doing pretty well. He's done pretty well in qualifying and free practices this weekend in Silverstone. Do I want him to listen? I don't like George Russell. He's a prick. He just I don't want him to win. I want it to be Kimi or Lewis, but George has been very impressive over the last 3 races.
Nice. Go ahead, keep going. I know you said you don't have a lot of bets so far yet for what tomorrow is going to hold, but I know you're going to have an article out a little bit later on Betting News if you want to bet some Formula One tomorrow morning. But what are some leans that you have?
So yeah, qualifying is happening right now, so I don't really have a race winner picked out yet. I have a top 4 kind of just already in my head, but with this race, it actually usually one within the top 4 pole sitters. So I'm trying to wait and see who's going to finish within the top 4 before I officially pick one. But this race, Silverstone, it is one of the fastest circuits we have on the track. Not just the straights, but the corners are fast. These drivers, they're facing usually on a typical race weekend, it's 3 to 4 Gs in the corners, which is, if you think about it, your head and helmet weigh combined about 15 pounds, and 3 to 4 Gs, that takes it anywhere to 45 to 60 pounds. In Silverstone, they're facing 5 to 6, which turns your head and helmet into about 65 to 90 pounds of force on your neck. Jesus. So it's a very fast, entertaining track. There's a lot of opportunities for overtakes, but it just leads me into my bets that I'm taking. My 2 for sure bets I have locked in is going to be total classified drivers under 17.5, and then a virtual and real safety car at plus 125. This track is so fast. Tire management is a must. We've already seen it in free practice and the first Q1 session that just happened. We had 2 drivers already spin off the track. George Russell spun off the track. He managed to make it through, get back on the track, and qualifying round 2. But yeah, it's a fast track, but it's also a dangerous track. We've seen some big wrecks here in the past. So those 2 bets, it's more than likely to happen just due to how the track races, how fast these guys are going, how much stress it puts on the cars, and yeah.
Let's go. You guys can check out FAM's analysis for some winners. Obviously, as soon as the qualifying is over, that'll be out later today, as this race is in the morning tomorrow, bright and early for what's going to go down across the pond at Silverstone. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for stopping by, bringing some fast analysis for us for what's going to go down in the Formula One streets. Have a great. You got any fun? Hey, remember, 10 fingies, 10 toes. You got any fun plans for Formula One for 4th of July today?
I'll just go over to a friend's house. That's about it.
Let's go.
We also did our sprint bet this morning at 7 a.m. I didn't wake up for that, but Kimi Antonelli won the sprint race this weekend. So
nice. Bang, bang. Let's go, dude. Appreciate you. Go follow Fam on the timeline and obviously get involved with his Formula One Scribbles at Betting News for free a little bit later today. Appreciate you, man. Have a great rest of your day. Happy 4th.
Peace, boys.
Take it easy, man. All right. Before we get to baseball and dub, let's do Luch. I know you said you got a couple of plays on the John Deere Classic that are rolling. What do you like for the fairways that are rocking and rolling here to kick us off for the 4th of July? Your goats are muted. Goats are muted. Goats are muted.
Damn, I'm trying to be respectful. Let my peers talk without me interrupting them.
Fair enough.
Nobody's perfect, I guess. Unfortunately, a lot of the matchups teed off already. You could probably still find some decent live numbers. Zachary Boshu is interesting. He was number 1 in my regression model, like positive regression. He had a really bad round putting, but his irons looked really good, so I don't mind him. The matchup that tees off in about 15 minutes is a fun one. It's Max Homa, Chris Gotterup, and Zach Johnson. And Gotterup was one of the borderline co-favorites entering this week, and great golfer. Looked pretty good the first couple of days. Homa's game has really been trending lately. He had gained strokes in all facets over the first 2 days. His irons have been much better lately, and I'm not sure that is baked in enough. In this 3-ball matchup, he's plus 190, and his putting is typically very good. So Gotterup didn't really hit his irons well the first couple of days. So I think that's a little more sticky during a couple of rounds for a tournament than putting is. So it doesn't feel great, dueling against Gotterup, but you're getting plus 190 on it for a guy in Homa whose game is really clicking right now. He's a good putter, and his approach play was really good yesterday. So Max Homa is the lone play that I'm looking at. That actually, I don't know if Jackson Suber teed off yet either, but I like Jackson Suber against Tyler Duncan and Tyler Merritt as well. You're getting minus 105 on that, so not nearly as good of a price. So that's what I'm looking at in PGA so far. And honestly, the leaderboard, there's a little bit of separation. A bunch of older guys getting it done on tour. A couple guys in their 40s. You're seeing Lee Hodges and Lucas Glover. But a couple of these guys are having some like anomaly spike putting weeks. Of course, that thing could stay hot for 4 rounds. I'm willing to bet that maybe it doesn't. So if you do want to put a little splash bet in on a couple of guys that are, a little bit further down the leaderboard, I think there is some room for some guys to climb today and tomorrow as well. And by the way, the Pirates have 5 runs already. Can we get one more maybe before the show's over? That would be a sick.
Was it the 3rd inning?
Something like that, right?
Yeah, bottom 2, I think.
Bottom of the 2nd.
It's a high-scoring game. I know James Woods got a home run in that game too already.
100 degrees, man. Shit is hot there. That ball is flying.
Ball is flying. Well, dude, shout out to you, man. If you got up early and tapped in with Lucha Scribbles at Betting News, you got that play. And obviously, if you were with us at the beginning of the show, you got that. I'm not going to jinx it, but can we get one more run, please? And thank you.
One more.
The amount of times you'll be like, oh, this over's easy in baseball, and then they don't do jack fucking shit for the rest of the game. But it should be free queso for you. Speaking of baseball, let's talk some baseball. We've got our hitters for you guys that we've all chosen to go Yabo today. The 4th of July Yabo special from here on the Betting News Network. I'm going to go first. Now, I did not. Yeah, I hated Deli De La Dong yesterday just as much as Sauceman hates Deli De La Dong yesterday. He did to me what he's done to Sauceman. So it was never De La Cruz yesterday. But I'm going to one of the evening games tonight. We're going to the Colorado Rockies. Now you can take Devers if you would like. I did sprinkle on Devers to go yard again. He hit a home run yesterday. Maybe he can do the same again. 87 degrees, winds kind of blowing out to left field, and you guys know it's Coors. Balls are going to be flying, and it's the 4th of July. But on the other side, against Robbie Ray, a lefty, give me Hunter Goodman to hit a home run. I like his total bases as well at a playable price of minus 115, minus 120, depending on where you're shopping. And then the home run is at a nice, tasty plus 220, plus 230 price as well. Didn't go yard yesterday, has good success against Ray's pitch mix, and also has really good success against lefties. He's had 11 at-bats against Ray, batting 400. Hasn't gone yard against him, but I think today might be the day. So I like both Devers and him in the same game. If you'd like to choose one of those guys, but it's always kind of hard taking a guy who just hit a home run yesterday. Devers does kind of wreck the Rockies in Coors, so that might be a good matchup for him. But for me, as my entry into our 3-legger / 4-legger that we might make for today, give me Goodman to go Yabo.
I like that. I like that game for home runs, especially obviously, not just it being at Coors, but it's one of those games where I think there's going to be a lot of offense more than anything.
Word. Stars, stripes, and dingers. Well done, Jackson. That's a nice little name. All right. Who wants to go next?
Speaking of stars, stripes, and dingers, I'm going with somebody that honestly has been fantastic on the 4th of July. He's played 4 games on the 4th of July. He's got a 529 batting average, 9 hits, 2 home runs, and 5 RBIs. And it's Bobby Witt, 4th of July, bobblehead night at Kauffman Stadium tonight.
Holy.
So I don't know. Everything's just kind of coming up. Bobby Witt Jr. tonight at plus 400 on the 4th of July. It just feels like a great spot. Now, a couple of stats just to back me up so I'm not insane. At home this year, Witt's been fantastic. 311 batting average with a 55% hard hit rate with 9 of his home runs coming here at home. Against left-handed pitching, he has been fantastic. Small sample size, but 2 home runs, a 329 batting average, and a 62% hard hit rate. So the ball's been absolutely being smashed. Luzardo, a little bit tougher. It doesn't allow a lot of fly balls, but with the weather here in KC today, with everything going on, I just think that, hey, if the MLB is going to give us some good balls for one of these early games, it's got to be here in KC. So give me Bobby Witt plus 400. I mean, Schwarber's probably also a good look in that game at plus 210. I don't hate that, but yeah, I'm rolling with Bobby. It's Bobby, bitch. That's it. Yep.
It's Bobby on his bobblehead night on 4th of July. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong, right?
Okay, so there's 2. We've got a third entry, and it's in the early game. Take us to the Yankees.
Yep, like Ben Rice hit a home run last night. Zebby Matthews on the mound for Minnesota. I don't know if I'm on the Zebby Matthews cadence, but I feel like I'm mentioning him every show I'm on. So anyway, lefties have been his Achilles heel since his cup of coffee last year in the bigs, and still the same deal for Zebby. Allowing a .198 ISO to lefties, but his expected ISO is up at .239, which means he's getting a little bit lucky in terms of power. So Ben Rice, obviously MVP caliber campaign, massive power numbers against right-handed pitching, and it's going to be in the mid-90s in the Bronx. So I like Zebby. And the more I looked at the slate, my honorable mention pick would be lefties against Griffin Canning and Max Muncy sticking out in that late-night hammer game. So maybe if we're having a really hot start. Oh, baby. I'm not going to steal your thunder then, V. So
no, steal it away. I love this. I love to hear you wanted. Please talk to me about Max Muncy, Luch.
No, I mean, Griffin Canning is atrocious this year. He's been surprisingly really damn good against righties, but allowing a 266 ISO against lefties, 2/3 of his pitch mix is fastball, changeup, and Max Muncy is a really good changeup hitter. So I think that plays here. He should get a couple at-bats against Canning. At a minimum. The only thing I hate about that is, the Dodgers are at home, so you're not guaranteed that 9th inning at bat. And the Padres bullpen is obviously, pretty damn good. So that's probably baked into the price, obviously, here a little bit. But nonetheless, we're going with Muncy in the late night hammer, too.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, Luch. I think that the plus 375 price tag, it's obviously, like you said, he might not get that 9th inning at bat just because of where he does bat in the order as well. But this is a guy that smashes that changeup, and I think that especially against the 4-seam fastball here against Canning, this is a spot where I think Muncy really could take advantage. So yeah, give me the plus 375 for him to hit a home run here on big boys get the job done on July 4th. July 4th is a holiday for us big boys. Okay, it's for us.
For the big boys.
For the big boys.
All right, so we pivoted. Pivot. Jackson Churio was an honorary mention as well for me. Was going to throw him in here. Also, our boy Tones Takes really likes that in that late night game between the Diamondbacks and who are they playing? Brewers. Yeah, thank you. Churio on the Brewers side of things. But since you guys both liked Muncy and Luch didn't even know that Sauceman liked Muncy, this is what we're going to do. Ben Rice, Bobby Witt Jr., Hunter Goodman, and Max Muncy to take us home and tuck us in. That is your Stars, Stripes, and Dingers parlay of the day. Sprinkle this with a cup of coffee, chat. Price of a Coors, dollar, gumball. Take them all individually. Obviously, they're all very, plus 200 or plus 180 or higher. But in all 4 of those parlayed together, boys, plus 21,000. Shop around.
4 horsemen of July 4th, right? Come on.
Obviously.
Yeah. Come on. So there's your Stars, Stripes, and Dingers parlay.
I dug deeper for a narrative. I'm sad to report there are no MLB hitters' birthdays that are noteworthy of hitting a home run today. So the double dip birthday July 4th narrative would have been pretty sick.
That would have been pretty sick, but there's a couple of guys that do hit dingers on July 4th. Manny Machado's got 4 on July 4th. Christian Walker's got 4. Dansby Swanson also's got 4. I know the weather's not looking like it has been the last couple of games in Chicago today, but like when it's blowing wind out there, it's almost too easy. So a couple of guys there. Michael Bush is another one. Buxton also has 3 on July 4th. Not a bad matchup. I know that Chef's Hub has him as their top matchup today, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Buxton get one over the fence either. But like we've got our 4 horsemen, just a couple more for chat if they want to dabble.
Nice and easy lemon squeezy right there. All right, scrolling at the bottom. That's the rest of the baseball. I've got a couple WNBA plays to rock with you guys, and then we shall cook the normal Betspresso 4, and we'll get out of here and let you guys enjoy the rest of your 4th of July. Once again, thanks for being with us right here on the Betting News Network to kick off your holiday celebrations on the 4th. All right, 2 games today, guys, in the W streets. I like both of these games a lot. Probably not a lot of people paying attention to the WNBA today, just because there's baseball, there's obviously the World Cup, etc. The Atlanta Dream taking on the Golden State Valkyries this afternoon. 4.5-point favorites are the Dream. Like this matchup quite a bit. These teams have played each other a couple times this season, relatively recently as well. Gabby Williams is in a good spot on the Valkyrie side of things in ATL tonight, but I'm going to probably regret taking this, and I'm going to be really mad because she burned me last time I bet her against the Atlanta Dream because she didn't shoot the basketball. She did like twice, but she did not shoot the basketball enough for me. Give me Kayla Thornton over 8.5 points. This line just feels too low. Again, in her last game against the Dream, which was on the 26th of June, 0 points, a big old goose egg. However, in her previous matchups against the Dream earlier this season, she had 17 points, and she had 15 against them last season, hitting multiple three-pointers in those games as well. Her 2+3s is at plus money if you'd like to take that instead. But the 8.5 points feels just way too low for me. I think 10+ is very much so on the table for Kayla Thornton. Smarter bet, safer bet, probably Gabby Williams, but I like to live dangerously to start off the afternoon before I knock back some beverages on this 4th of July. I like the second game a lot better, though. Storm.
Sorry, SPJ. Just about this game. CC Sandalcini, you just brought her up, but plus 170 for the 2+3s. Like that's a price tag that feels maybe it's just, for a little half unit sprinkle, but obviously it hasn't hit. Like it's only twice in the last 10 games. But if you look at the head-to-head, 3 of the last 4, it's a line that's hit. They're also a team that ranks in the bottom 5 in both threes allowed to the forward spot and to the center spot. Is there some value there on CC tonight?
Yep. I like that a lot. I love betting CC Zandalicini. You can just take her points as well. You're getting plus money for 10+. I know the threes is probably how she's going to get the job done, like you mentioned, but she does like to get to the free throw line. She's good in the mid-range as well. So I like CC Zandalicini as well in that game. Like I mentioned, Gabby's kind of the main de facto offensive option for this team, and the Dream are pretty good defensively. But yeah, CC for 2+3s does feel very tasty, or just the points at the 10+ for plus money as well. So I like it.
Feeling greedy.
Getting greedy with it. However, the second game to me is even better. Storm taking on the Portland Fire, 2 teams that are not spectacular in the win-loss department. 8-9 are the Portland Fire, and Storm 3-15. Minus 3.5-point favorites are the Seattle Storm, though. I've talked about this team a lot over the last couple of weeks. They're really starting to put it all together. A lot of these players are either international players or rookies on this team, but they are starting to gel. Flau'jae Johnson, somebody I bet consistently. Malonga's been fantastic in her stretch of time now in the starting lineup. But I'm going with a player on the Seattle Storm side with her points. I like the PR if you can take that as well, but 11.5 points for Awa Pham, the rookie. She's finally playing starter minutes for this team. She's had a fantastic game against the Fire earlier this season with 18 points. The 11.5 just feels way too low. Also, the Fire really struggle with centers and big forwards. Obviously, Dominic Malonga's in a great matchup on the for the center for the forward position. I guess technically Pham and her are kind of both centers playing together, but Gustafsson is not a great defender down low, and I think they should probably continue to eat. Malonga had a really bad game last game shooting the basketball. She should probably come back and have a really good one today. Her 18.5 points feels nice, but Pham had 18 points against this team. The 11.5 just feels too low. I think that the books are still underestimating her. This line's going to continue to creep up if she keeps hitting this points line, which she has in 4 straight games. I think she's going to continue to cook. So Awa Pham on that side. And then on the other side, I don't really get why this line is playable at the price that it is right now. So no clue what's going on here. The books are sleeping at the wheel here. Bridget Carlton on the other side for the Portland Fire, 13.5 points. You can take her 3-pointer, Sauce Man, if you want to get greedy. The 2.5 is sitting at plus 110. She hit 7 threes against the Seattle Storm when they played in the middle of June. She has great history against this team. She's hit this the 3-point prop line in 3 of her last 4 games against Seattle, dating back to last season when her role was completely different on a different team. But she had 24 points in their last game. She's also hit this points line in 3 of her last 4. She's going to shoot a lot of threes. She's going to shoot the ball quite a bit in this game. Seattle Storm are also one of the worst defensive teams to the 3-pointer allowed to the forward position. So I like the Carleton threes. 13.5 points. I like the threes as well, but I took the points for some safety at the 13.5. Great ladder spot too, up to 20. You're getting a really nice plus money on that price as well. So should be a fun game tonight if you want to watch some lady ballers this evening in the Seattle Storm taking on the Portland Fire.
One more quick question, Dominique Malonga, 8.5 rebounds. You see that the dream here are not the dream, sorry, but the not Phoenix, Portland Fire are 15th in opponent offensive rebound rate. She's averaging 1.8 offensive rebounds per game in her last 10. Obviously, on the year, she has been really, really good on the glass. Do you think that the over 8.5 rebounds is a spot? I know she had a really bad shooting night the other night, but I mean,
I love
rebounds.
it. Take the PR. Take the PRV. Like, I would not be shocked if we look up and she has 20 points in this game or 18.5 points line, but the double-double at a playable plus money price looks really good too. Like I said, the Portland really struggles down low. Her Fam and Malonga should both cook in this game.
28-11 the last time they played, 3 offensive rebounds.
Yeah. The double-double, I think, is like plus 125, plus 130 from Malonga. Okay. I like that too, if you want to go that direction. So, all right, boys, let's cook. Let's cook. Let's give you guys a Bespresso 4. The Stars and Stripes home run. Don't buy a Coors. Bet this instead is scrolling at the bottom for plus 21K if you'd like to get involved there. Hunter Goodman, Max Muncy, Ben Rice, and Bobby Witt Jr. But let's cook the regular guy. Let's start off with, we're not doing anything in Canada, Morocco. I won't make although Shags did say his favorite for the parlay was Morocco money line.
How dare he?
But for the sense of not making you have to not back your team today, I won't make you do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Chat, don't ever say that I'm not nice. We can do the under 3.5 in the France game. It's minus 210, but it's a parlay, and we're trying to hit.
Yeah, I can get down with that.
What do you think, Luch?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. And then favorite hitter or game?
I'm leaning the Yankees Twins run total move. I think that's a good look, honestly.
The over?
Yeah, that's at 10 even. I'm seeing on the book I'm looking at.
I kind of like that because we were both looking at hitters too, like Ben Rice, Byron Buxton. Weather is fantastic. I mean, in the
bullpen
Bronx,
game for the Yankees. Twins terrible bullpen.
Do we take the 9.5 for juice, or do we do the 10.5 for plus 100?
Throw the 9.5 on there for now. We could always adjust it.
Okay.
I like Bobby Witt's bases or HRR too. Like I said, he hits 529 on July 4th. He's really good against lefties, really good at home.
Down to double dip on Witt. They do HRR.
That might be a little bit juiced, but I'm down. The bases I also like a lot too.
Minus 120 for the bases. Let me just see what the HRR is. We'd have to go to 2.5 for plus 120.
Yeah, I'd say go bases then, just because he could hit one double.
2+ bases. And then in the dub, let's go to the late game. Storm and Fire. Do we want to go? I like Carleton quite a bit. I also like Fam, and I also like Malonga. I like all of those.
Carleton sounded really good too. I just don't know much about that Portland Fire side. I'm like,
they don't. It's kind of Carleton and Carla Late, and that's it.
Should we go Carleton then?
Malonga's staring me in the face, bro. She's just that French
do
lady's just.
Do we just take the double-double? Double-double for plus money and juice up the parlay?
I don't have the double-double, unfortunately. So let's just take the points and be safe. Be smart.
Cool. Not the PR?
I don't have the PR either.
Oh, okay.
It's not widely available, unfortunately. Plus 735. So under 3.5 goals in the Paraguay-France game. 9.5 total runs over Twins and Yanks. Bobby Witt over 1.5 bases. And then Dominic Malonga over 18.5 points. Plus 735.
That feels good. Especially with the plus 21,000 sitting in our back pocket.
Exactly. Yeah, we can just kind of be nice and easy, lemon squeezy with this one, and be smart with it. Let's see one go through the hoop to celebrate the 4th of July. Okay, bing bong. There it is. There's your best espresso 4 to celebrate the 4th of July. We appreciate you guys being here to kick off your holiday Saturday. Thanks for stopping by on the Betting News Network for all the vibes. That's Luch at the J Carlucci on the socials. Get involved with all of his content, and obviously check out his scribbles at Betting News. That's Sauceman at VSauce with 3 A's. My name is Sweatpan Jesus at Sweatpan Jesus. Go follow all of us. Go follow all of us at Your Betting News as well. Get involved with all of our content across all socials. Follow us on Twitch, on YouTube, wherever you guys have been watching us. We appreciate you guys. Drop a like and a subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content, and come back and hang out with us every single day, talking sports, vibing out, and hopefully making some money along the way. Boys, you got anything else before we get out of here?
Yeah, real quick.
What's up?
Paying homage. Do you know where I'm going with this? 17 years ago today, we lost Steve McNair. The world lost Steve McNair. So have one for Mr. McNair. Weird documentary though. I feel like I feel like there was more I wanted to see out of that documentary that dropped like a year
on Netflix. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but 17 years, crazy. I know exactly where I was when I got that news. We had to have a little Titans moment here today, even though it's sad. We had to pay our respects to our GOAT, Steve.
I'm glad you said that. Steve McNair was obviously with the Chris Johnson news with the ALS diagnosis earlier this week, obviously, and then Steve McNair passing away, as you said, 17 years ago on July 4th. I have Steve McNair's autograph on a napkin. My mom met him when I was a child. He was at, I think, Buffalo Billiards downtown Nashville, and he was playing some pool with some friends. And my mom was out and she was with some friends and she saw him. She was like, I'm going to go get Steve McNair's autograph. They were like, don't bother him. She was like, no, my son loves Steve McNair. I'm going to go get his autograph. And so she went over there and said, hey, Mr. McNair, would you? And he signed, I have it on my door at my house. It's a napkin that says to Daniel, from Aaron McNair, and signed number 9. So
that's fucking awesome. See, the mom, just W mom. The more and more I hear about it, the more and more I get to talk to her, just W mom.
W mom, indeed. And real quick, since we're doing this, and you said this, Luch, and you derailed us, I'm down to do this again. Hey, NFL top 100 standings. You can lick my ass. You guys don't know ball. Jeffrey Simmons is not the 83rd worst player, not the 83rd best player in football. Yeah, I know. Jeffrey Simmons is number 83 on this list. The all-pro defensive tackle, the best defensive tackle in football, number 83 on the list. As soon as I saw that and some other names that they've kind of been dropping on that list in the order, I was like, yeah, you guys just obviously don't know ball.
I think it was always a little bit to insider reaction. You know what I mean? Even back in the days before social media. But I do think that we have now delved into a place where it's all about how much you can drive clicks. Like even the Micah Parsons and the Iceman clip and like them saying he's deep. Like, come on, guys. Can we just put out a list where we can just sit and debate players and have fun with it? And like, you know what I mean? Does it all have to be clickbait, rage bait? Come on, 83rd?
It's voted on by the players. So if his peers want to piss off Big Jeff this year, then have at it. Like,
yeah, right?
It.
Please and thank you. I'd love an angry Big Jeff. Double-digit sacks last year. Just signed the biggest contract in defensive tackle history. Homie is coming for, and also I love that they posted this, and all he posted on the timeline was the kick-ass picture of him in the new jerseys with the
Dude was playing 1 versus 11 on every defensive fucking possession last season.
See, and Luch V's not even a Titans fan, and
I'm not even a Titans fan.
Yeah, but he spent enough time with you that you kind of like manipulated him a little bit here.
He's the only one on this network who will listen to me talk about the Titans. And now I've got another friend with me to suffer.
I got you, big dog.
Let's go. Let's go. Carnell Tate, Rookie of the Year. Cam Ward, Titans to win the AFC South. Okay, I'm getting crazy with it.
You know that SPJ's needed this. He's needed this. He deserves this. He deserves this.
Oh, man. Oh, man. There's the parlay. There's the Betty 4. Shut up, Jeff. Get out of here.
Rage bait.
You don't know ball. Rage bait, absolutely. There's the Betty 4 if you'd like to tail, and Stars and Stripes Stingers if you want to get involved with a little bit more cheese today. Get out there, enjoy. Like I said, all 10 digits, all the phalanges intact. Do not be like Jason Pierre-Paul and lose some fingers and toes today. Keep it all rocking and rolling with you guys. Shout out Beast McNeese down below. You guys came for the winners. You stayed for the vibes. Have a fantastic July 4th. We'll catch you guys tomorrow to break down everything we saw today. Go check out everything at bettingnews.com. As always, enjoy America's birthday. Have a good one, chat.
What you know about rolling down in the Down in the
Now I know y'all be loving this shit
what you
right
know
here.
about rolling, rolling, rolling.
What you gonna do?
Rolling, rolling.
What you gonna do?
Down in the rolling, rolling, rolling.
What you gonna do? Right, y'all be loving this shit.
What you know about